Hey guys, and welcome back to Will It Work? Today I'm going to be taking you through a deck that I've been working on. It's a red-yellow events deck that uses a lot of removal. There's tons of removal in this deck. There is a new eel, which I wanted to try out. We got Copters, Soul Drains, Flame Bursts, tons and tons of removal. Lots of events as well, and then we use the Colossus as a finisher. So I have played a lot of red-yellow events in the past. I haven't really tried anything this expansion, so I wanted to toy with some of the new cards that we received over both expansions. And I feel like I've got something here. It probably still needs refinement, but I think there's potential. Perhaps red-yellow events is kind of on the verge of being a proper deck. I think it still needs a little bit more support. But overall, I've been pretty happy with this build so far. Lots of removal is always great, especially if there's a lot of token decks or maybe blue jump going around. And yeah, I feel pretty happy with this deck so far. It's been pretty decent, but like I said, still needs a bit of refinement, still need to figure out exactly what needs to be in here. There's a little bit of hard removal in as well. We have one Nightmare, one Choking Sands. Not entirely sure if they're necessary. That could just be other pieces of removal, maybe even more creatures. But overall, I feel that I need access to that for certain matchups. So I'm trying to make the deck kind of viable across all boards, which is not always the best idea sometimes when you build a deck. But I think Control does have that luxury of being an archetype that can be quite flexible when it comes to matchups. So let's get to it, then let's see how this deck performs on the ladder, and will it work? Alright guys, we're into our first game here. Like I said, I've been doing okay with this deck. I beat Red Rush earlier, and I just beat Blue Jump in practice. I've played this deck for a few hours now, and I've just been like slowly refining it, just finding things I want to change. The ladder has been mostly quite diverse so far. I did see a lot of burn in my first few games, but I wasn't playing this deck. I was playing something else. But ever since that, all the burn players have moved on. I've been playing all sorts of things: blue green, mono red rush, yellow rush, blue jump, red yellow burn. We're going to what looks like to be like some kind of mono blue deck now. But yeah, it's looking okay now. I feel that we push up. So we are a control deck. We can collect off our own wells, but it very much depends on the circumstance. I don't actually mind playing a little more aggressive with this deck and go more mid-range. I feel like it has the flexibility to play mid-range, mainly because there's just so much removal. You can just like push up one side while just killing everything that's on board, which is quite nice. Now this is probably going to receive an enchant in the near future, which is absolutely fine. This card has been fantastic. I've been really impressed with this, more so than the eel, actually. Like the eel's been okay, but it hasn't been that good. it's just been okay. Now I would like to take a ground shaker, but I feel that I should probably build a desert to get a mountain here or here for future axe grinders. Now, I did have a lot more removal in this. I had like 3 Soul Drains, 3 Cypher's Wrath, 3 Flame Bursts. I was just kind of getting a feel for what removal pieces I wanted. But then I ultimately decided to add Outland Ranger as an early collector. Okay, so we got quite a good turn here. I would like to kill this, but I don't have that. I don't have that luxury just yet. We'll take our aggressive mountain. That's fine. I think we'll just go for Ground Shaker for now. And then we can wait until next turn. We can Soul Drain this, and then I might just Mountain here and play a Ground Shaker here as well. Now you need 3 mountains, 3 deserts for the full deck to become online. You only need 3 deserts when you draw in Last Nightmare, which does give the deck a bit of flexibility. This is looking like Dream Reaver to me. This really need my Nightmare. This is why I added Nightmare. There's just some matchups where you just need certain options. But blue is actually quite good for us in some ways because of Aurora. If my opponent plays Aurora, I can Spirit Theft it, and then turn my little Recurring Copters and my Outland Rangers into 6/6, which is also very good. So going for some Battletoads over this side. So now Garadan is the one I want to see. I just want to be able to Garadan all this. Go for Humbling Visions into Enchant? No. So we do find that last nightmare. That's very helpful. Very, very helpful. I'm wondering if I Rakoan Copter on this side. I can probably play just really aggressive here. I could like Rakoan Copter here. So I can go, actually, so what? I don't know. Because I do want, oh no, I could desert here. No, I want a mountain. See, I'm just trying to decide now. I do want a Soul Drain. And I also want to play Ground Shaker. I want to do a lot of things in my life right now. I want to do a lot of things. How do we do this? We got mountain here. We can Rakoan Copter, finish this off. We don't clear this. That's the problem. So we go desert here. We can move across and Rakoan Copter here. Just here and finish this off. And then we can Soul Drain this guy and we take control of the right side. But I don't have an aggressive mountain then. I think that's fine. We should probably set up the extra... We probably should set up the deserts now. Just to make sure... Yeah, we're going for the Copter. We decided on a Copter. And then we're going to go for the Soul Drain here. Doesn't matter which way we do it, to be honest. Now we take control of the right side. So now we're matching our opponent on Faeria collection at least. Our opponent's a little bit further ahead than us. But now we have that desert down, we're pretty much just setting up for the Nightmare. The Nightmare is going to be very important here because my opponent does go for Dream Reaver. I can just Nightmare it straight up. Just hope there's not another one. that's kind of where I am right now. Let's just hope there's not another Dream Reaver lurking. Like I said, Aurora can be pretty sad, but because we have Spirit Theft, Aurora can actually represent a lot of problems. Because now if this jumps across and Aurora comes down, I can finish it off with Spirit Theft and the Rakoan Copter. Oh, it's going to be a Phantasm. Phantasm's another pretty decent one we can steal as well. I'm pretty happy with stealing Phantasm. Thunder Eel. Okay, so I can actually kill the Sturdy Shell. That's really good. I haven't actually done a 4 damage Thunder Eel yet. Now we know that Nightmare really isn't an option here. I'm sitting on a reasonable amount of Faeria. This is going to double collect anyway. So I'm not sure if I want to Thunder Eel this just yet. If I had like a Cypher's Wrath as... Sorry, I did cut Cypher's Wrath. Soul Drain. If I had a Soul Drain and then I would consider doing a double Thunder Eel. But what I might do instead now is just go for a clear with the Spirit Theft. I think that's a little better. Because what I can do is I can run this guy in. Here. Go for the Ground Shaker. And then go for the Spirit Theft. So I steal the Phantasm. Not the greatest of steals, to be honest, but I put this in a weird position. It's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. It can go across here and maybe clear this, but it probably needs an Aurora or maybe like an Emperor's Command. And even if this gets Emperor's Command now and this clears, at least this dies. Whereas if we still had like the 5/4, Emperor's Command would make this a free 5. And then my opponent would be able to keep the Mirror Phantasm alive. So this kind of helps around the Emperor's Command. So it goes to the double neutral to push 2 damage. Now this makes Thunder Eel really good now because my opponent's gone for this line. But it also depends on what else my opponent gets up to. Is that Sunken Tower? It's a neutral card. I know that much. So Humbling Visions, again, like these are going to trade. That's fine. That's fine. I can go for the Thunder Eel next turn, which is pretty cool. And set up my last desert for later. Ooh. Now. Do I feel like I have to... I really love if I could go Axe Rider Thunder Eel. But my opponent is in Dream Reaver range, so I feel that I should probably... So I could go for like pure tempo here. Just go boom, Axe Grinder, +1 Thundereel, kill this. I put 10 damage next to my opponent's orb. But then my opponent goes into... Yeah, so my opponent goes into Dream Reaver and kills this Axe Grinder with the frog. I then won't have enough Faeria to Last Nightmare it. So let's just make sure that I can Last Nightmare. And then we'll take the Thundereel here and we'll just kill this Sturdy Shell. Zap! 4 damage. Thundereel's kind of a weird card. I feel like... I kind of wish it did 3 damage and then did 4 damage if it was on an ocean tile. That would be the dream. We can't have it all, unfortunately. Because now, if Dream Reaver comes down, there could be a Battletoad follow-up, which is probably the best follow-up. And we can just Last Nightmare it, push for 6. Be in a pretty happy position. Yep, here he is. Big old Dream Reaver. Now, if my opponent decides to go pass here into another Dream Reaver, we could be in a pretty hairy situation. But fortunately, we do have a Phantasm, so we can slow things down next turn if need be. So let's go for the Nightmare, and we'll go for the +1. Then we have the luxury of kind of step back. So we go with the 3, we collect 1, +1 Phantasm, the next Dream Reaver, hit for 6 again, set up lethal. That's what the plan's going to be here. Alright. So we do set up lethal anyway. So I'm going to take a draw just in case we pick up Flame Burst. We do pick up Flame Burst. So GG's to my opponent. And then the whole point of that game was navigating around Dream Reaver. Very lucky I drew the Nightmare, to be honest. That was like a big deal. But I had the Phantasm, so maybe I was okay. Hard to say, because if he had Ninja Toad, I'd probably dead to Ninja Toad. But I doubt there's Ninja Toad in here since we had Sturdy Shells and Enchants. But good game to my opponent. We had some, I think, things lined up really well for me there. Especially with the Nightmare. But overall, I think we had a pretty decent matchup against that. And that's what I was saying, like, sometimes you just have to play like a mid-range deck. If you know your opponent's win conditions a bit heavier. And Dream Reaver is one of those win conditions. We were kind of lucky there was no Radiance as well. But I did have MP. So I could MP it and just leave. And just hope that, again, my opponent doesn't have any other options. But good game. Good game. Let's go on to another match. Alright, so into another game. We're going to just throw everything. We do have turn 1 collectors. We have 6. So we have 3 Outland Rangers and we have 3 Axe Grinders. Axe Grinders are just good late game cards as well, because if we get the Aggressive Mountain, just puts a 5/4 down. Really good value. This is a clunky hand, unfortunately. Not really much going on. Hopefully our opponent isn't playing Rush. It's going to be a desert to start things off. Alright, so we are going to start off with a desert as well. Since our hand is more geared towards deserts, thanks to the Soul Drain. But we will have some flexibility in the future. Oh, okay. Red, yellow, yak so far. So this could just be a yak deck. So again, we're just going to go for the desert. It's absolutely fine. I did try a few other cards in this deck. I tried out the Dustbringer Wraith. I tried out Kaleem's Training, Flash Winds, Windstorm Chargers. Like, I've tried a lot of cards. There have been a lot of cards I've tested, and they didn't really work. That was the problem. Now, I'm not, to be honest, I'm pretty fine with stealing a Rubiak. I'm going to take 3 damage, but I'll heal all that. I'll heal that life back. Well, I'll heal some of it back, right? Because I'll deal 2, I'll take 1, and then I'll Soul Drain. And I'll heal the 1, but I'll take the 1, and then I'll Spirit Theft, and I'll heal the 1, but I'll take the 1. So I should just get 1. Oh, he's going to be playing this deck. The Mendil deck from earlier. Pretty cool. Alright, I like this. And now we get to do this, which is really good. That just means we can set up our eel in between the wells. Now, do I play the eel as a defender? Maybe I don't have the luxury of going for double collection just yet, and I can maybe gear towards a ground shake and double collection on the follow-up. And now I'm not going to be able to spirit theft it because it's got an extra life. So yeah, let's just do this. Zap. 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 So we take... so the heal resolves after the damage trigger. So we actually didn't take anything. That's fine. And the game got very confused there. Just a lot of little 1 damages and heals and 1 damage and heal. I wasn't entirely sure what resolved first, the Soul Drain or the Ruby Yak. Looks like the Ruby Yak resolved before the Soul Drain, which means we don't take any damage. Happy days. Ruby Yak didn't get that much done. It created the aggressive forest. That was its kind of best. We might just see, like, Yak into Elderwood. Oh, we're just going to see it pass. Okay. So let's ease up the pressure on our orb by just taking a central mountain. This is for Garadan later to go up this way. I'm going to cover this up, and then I'm going to go for the Outland Ranger. And then I'm going to campfire this. And the reason I'm campfiring this is to play around Topaz Yak. I'm forcing my opponent to have something extra with the Topaz Yak. It'd be really sad if this just got one-shotted by Topaz. Because my opponent could go, like, land here, into a guy, into Topaz. Oh, it's Mama. Mama. Ooh. I am the king of top decks, it seems. So we just nightmare this now. It's pretty good. And then I will clear. Doesn't really matter. I think I take... Doesn't really matter, I don't think. They're both in a position where they can collect next turn anyway. But this is pretty good. This is pretty good for me. Like a 4 Faeria flying 4/4 taunt. Great, I'll take it. Thank you very much, Spirit Theft. And now this is in range of this Yak Guard. It's going to back out now. It doesn't want to get hit by my Thunder Eel. Thunder Eel's in a pretty good position. And then I have this Yak Guard as well, which I can play later. I can keep it. I can just keep it for later. Alright. I think I know what my opponent's trying to get up to. So let's... Oh, there could be a Crystal Flower, I guess. So my plan now is a double neutral here and cover this forest again, because if the Topaz Yak comes... My opponent plays, like, I don't know, let's say my opponent plays a Yak and then Topaz. But then again, it's not that relevant right now. My opponent will make land, double neutral, 3, 4, 5... Can't really play a Yak and that. I don't think it's that relevant. This might just give me the luxury to draw this turn. Yeah, let's take a draw. That's really good. That's a little better than Ground Shaker. Because it's cheaper. I still want this guy kind of lurking and making sure he can protect stuff. I guess I have this guard. The guard gives me time, so let's put you in double collection, Mr. Eel. This eel has been really good this episode so far. Like I said, I haven't gotten much mileage out of it. It's maybe killed a guy. It was pretty good against Red Rush. It helped me clear like something and then set up a good aggressive body. But the Recurrent Copter was kind of the MVP of my Rush game earlier, because it was just killing. It was killing like Outland Rangers and it was killing Fire Elementals and stuff like that. So I'm gonna flower here, which is fine. But we are now going to double neutral across. I'm going to set up the old Yak Guard. Go and crack open this flower, and then the Sapphire Yak has the problem of dealing with this. Now my opponent could go... So my opponent now has the luxury of maybe going like +1 Emerald into Topaz, but Topaz would still trade with this, which is fine. So it might be Emerald into Topaz here. Oh, excuse me guys, it's the end of summer, so I have my mandatory post-summer cold. I am British. We do suffer at the hands of that. Oh, wow! And go for the Elderwood Embrace. Gives out that 1 life push. It's a double Crystal Flower being used here, just for a bit of board control. But I am okay with that. So now we get the Ground Shaker in between the wells. We get to clear this, you know, do some damage to these guys. And we're in a really good position. We're out collecting our opponent. We don't have initiative. We don't have initiative right now. But I think it's pretty bleak. Because I'm being given a lot of time, and I still have a lot of removal in my deck. And there we go, another win on the board, taking down Menadil's Yak deck. Feels good, guys. I'm pretty happy with this, how this deck's going. I know this is a Will It Work episode, and so far it seems to be working okay, but we need a good sample pool of matchups to really understand how good this deck can play. This episode alone will never be enough data to say, okay, you know, red-yellow events is a thing. But we can get an idea of where the strengths and weaknesses of the deck lies, and then if any adjustments need to be made. Like I said, I've already kind of been refining this deck already, just by taking bits and pieces out. But yeah, overall, pretty happy with it. Let's get into another match. Alright guys, into another game here. We're playing against Laiju Maru. We did get to play against Laiju in the previous episode with S of Beasts. So we're getting a bit of a run back here, and I do remember Laiju was playing Rakoans. So I'm very curious to see if we witness another Rakoan deck. I'm going for Outland Ranger over Axe Grinder simply because this is more useful up here. You know, this is where I want this card to be if I can get it up there. See what our opponent gets up to. I don't mind fighting from opposite sides of the board in most cases because I have so much removal. I can just kind of clear stuff on this side, but it does depend on what deck it is. That's going to be a Wood Elemental. Where's this going? Is this going to split on the opposite side here? No, it looks like we're going to have a scrappy down this side. Alright. So I can pretty much just say I'm not getting between these wells. Which is fine. It just means I can go for mountain now. I was considering going for the desert. You go for the desert, collect, and then like maybe mountain, desert, mountain, and get up into this spot. But now that I know I'm not getting here, this has already been taken, it's already been taken, I'm happy to go for the mountain to make sure that I can get the Ground Shaker down next turn. Now my next question is, do I play Campfire to play around Spider? And I think the answer is yes. I don't want to get hit by a Spider here. So I'm going to play the Campfire in anticipation of that card. And the next turn I can slam down the Ground Shaker, have a good body, kind of lurking at the bottom of my wells. And yeah, I did pass here, but my opponent consider what to do next. Goes to the Emerald Yak. Wait, did my opponent use a Power Wheel? Was there a Power Wheel malfunction? Because I went for the Yak play first. Not going to go for the lands, okay. Alright, mountain. So is this another Yak deck? Are we just playing against Yak decks today? Is that how things are? Is that how things are going? Now, the only thing I'm concerned about going forward is I want a desert. So another advantage of the desert in this spot is the dash path for Colossus later on. Now, since I can't really stop collection on this well now, I am going to take a desert for that dash path, and I'm going to pass. I might take Axe Grinder. I don't think so. I think we just wait. I'm taking this desert preemptively just for that dash path, just to make sure that my Colossus can get into a good position. Like I said, it's very hard for me to stop the collection anyway with that many creatures down. There are 2 creatures that can collect, so investing in the removal didn't really feel worthwhile. So is this a Yak deck or is this a green-red deck? It's very hard to determine right now. I think it's going to be Yaks just because Liju played Rakoans. So I'm just a bit of predictions going on here. So now the Flame Burst is pretty decent because I stopped double collection. So we'll take the Mountain. Go for the Ground Shaker. Now I'd love to go for Soul Drain here, but I don't have that luxury. Yeah, I guess we just Flame Burst. Like if we're playing around our opponent collecting an additional Faeria, we'll play the Flame Burst here. We have a reasonable sized board now. Our opponent needs some meat down to be able to stop us. We're also kind of invading this section, so we're stopping any kind of setup for the Sapphire Yak. But there could be a Sapphire, there could be a Yak plus Topaz Yak play, which I was talking about in our last game. I'm really glad to see Yaks are picking up in popularity again, especially when we're close to the second part of Resurgence coming out. We're going to see some Yak buffs for sure. We've already seen the cards being spoiled, the neutral cards. So I'm pretty excited to see what exactly we are going to see how the Yak decks are going to evolve with these cards available. So Elderwood Embrace, going to push it. Now we have the Soul Drain, which is quite nice. We can finish this off with the with our dude. We can go in, bam, Soul Drain this. Leaving this on 2 life just leaves us exposed, but I'm not too bothered about that. It's fine. There we go. So we're just taking care of business there. Taking care of that Elderwood Embrace. We do leave the Ground Shaker alive, so it's just something else my opponent has to deal with. Might just run it in. That's fine. I feel like we got some good value overall. Excuse me, guys. Like I said, post-summer cold. Unavoidable. Goes for the defensive double neutral. I wasn't exactly playing aggressive lands. It just the best place for me to put a land, to be honest. I didn't really have anywhere else. So we kind of forced our opponent into a more defensive play, which is fine. This can invade anyway. It's actually really hard to stop us from invading with this card. I'm going to draw. Okay, we'll go for the Ground Shaker because it kills the Yak. So we're just eliminating the Topaz Yak possibilities. We're forcing our opponent to have that Yak in hand. And I'd rather play this for 5. I don't really want to play this for 7. And not when Ground Shaking can kill a threat. Now we're quite comfortable now in double collection, but our opponent does have a lot of Faeria to work with. Topaz Yak has been very big, been the biggest piece of removal. Along with Crystal Flower, we did see a lot of Crystal Flower from my last Yak opponent. So Crystal Flower definitely an option as well. So this should be a desert. I don't see this being anything else. So yeah, that's going to be a desert. So we now know Topaz Yak is available. Now a few Yaks have been slain in this battle. So the Mama is going to be a little cheaper. So yeah, Crystal Flower taking the Ground Shaker. That still keeps us a double collector. We could see Emerald Yak into Topaz Yak now. No? Okay. So what is the play? I might just have to play this, actually. For tempo. It's a shame that Thundereel can't target structures as well. But yeah, I feel we just go for the tempo line. I could play Outland Ranger Campfire, but I still don't have enough. So let's just say, you know what? We just swallowed our Ground Shaker. Here's a Colossus to deal with. That can knock this open next turn and put the Ground Shaker and Colossus in a very threatening position. +1 into Mama? Mama! Ooh. Didn't mean to make her cry. Did not mean to. Double Soul Drain. Feels good. If only I could get the campfire down. What do I do here? I guess I can Thundereel follow up on the mother if she clears the Colossus. This is a tricky one, actually. I guess I could go for a draw, because if I pick up Spirit Theft, it just solves all our problems. Okay. I think I Soul Drain these guys. Move this up. Maybe I don't even move this up. I just cleared this now. Topaz Yak's such a problem. I always talk about Topaz Yak. It's just such a good card. It's just a really good card. I guess I could have cleared double Soul Drain hit and opened this up. But yeah, we'll do this. We'll just leave this on the Sapphire Yak tile. Now we know we have Thundereel next turn even if our board gets cleared. So if we do see Topaz Yak move down, collect 1, clear, hit this. We can +1 into Thundereel and finish this off. And you know, this is going to crack open soon. And going forward now, our Windstorm Colossus are now 5. Just double Soul Drain, so that reduced the Colossus down to 5. So Colossus is also a really good follow-up play for us after the Eel, if the Eel's even necessary. I might just draw Spirit Theft. Spirit Theft would be a better answer. If our opponent decides to go for kind of a value here and come this side and clear and leave this open. I mean, coming here and then clearing this and then some of the Topaz to finish this off is actually really solid. But I can go for Axe Grinder. Oh, double neutral. Spicy. What's this? Another Crystal Flower. Jeez. My poor creatures today. Just been imprisoned by yaks. The yaks are actually just prison guards. Oh, that's a good draw. That's a very good draw. The only problem is I don't stop this from double collecting. That's kind of sad. Okay, so now I've accelerated this Crystal Flower. I'm going to get my 5/6 back next turn. I played this down here because I'm now out of reach of the mother. So I can potentially influence when I kill this. Now, I don't know if this build is running the Triton's Banquet, because we saw the Wood Elemental. We did discuss, well, on the Menadil deck video that I felt like the deck was kind of bloated with events, and Menadil did agree in the comments. So, Elijah might have cut the... Oh. Might have cut those cards in hopes of you know, finding more creatures for the deck, because sometimes you got creatures starved with the Menador version. So I might have decided, you know, cut a bit of the utility in order to get more creatures involved. Now for me, I'm just wondering if I even care. Oh, excuse me. One sec, guys. Man, you gotta hate being sick. I think I just do this. And now I'm just gonna smoke. Because killing this is something I don't want to do. I never want to kill Runin. I don't even want to see Runin played. Let alone kill it and make it a 6/6. There's no point killing the 5/3 simply because it doesn't stop double collection. I can just move my Ground Shaker into a more defensive part of the board. So that doesn't return till next turn. That's absolutely fine. I might even just mount him behind and then Axe Grinder again, just to apply that pressure. +1. Okay. So yeah, we're just going for lethal, really. Just trying to see if our opponent has an answer. We know Runin's back in hand, but not really in a situation where Runin can be played. Not comfortably, at least. Our opponent needs to play more reactive here, using Topaz Yaks, or maybe using Taunters like the Emerald Yak. Can dash the Runin in between, I guess. That works. I do have an answer to it. Oh, Grove Guardian. Well, Grove Guardian as well. So this is interesting. Oof, that Huntdown's nasty. But that's fine. I got Spirit Theft. I can just steal this and just play another creature, hit for 4. Just carry on doing all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, hello. You now belong to me. Take the 4 damage. Yep, we'll go for the Grove Guardian here to make sure it can hit face next turn. And then we can move this up, +1. And then we'll pass. So Runin can come down, but it can't really do much. And there's still, even if it could have gotten in between, it's going to be Runin into an aggressive position.
Nature never dies.
Nature dies today, Runin. I'm sorry. And another Yak deck has been swatted by red-yellow events. Feels good, guys. This deck feels really good. I know we've played a lot of Yak decks and stuff, but I've been pretty happy with its performance. Because I was on a win streak before I started making the video. So far, so good. 3-0. You know, I usually play 5 games. I might play a few more if they're shorter, but 3-0. Or even if I went 3-2 now, I'd still be very happy with how this deck has performed so far. But we still have 2 more games remaining. Let's see if we can make that 5-0. Touch wood. I usually jinx myself when I say that. Especially in Pandora. I should just never say that. Just never say that. Let's get into our next match. Alright guys, let's just keep going. Doing very well so far. Again, just hard mulligan for these 2. One of these. 2 is okay. I'm not too bothered about 2. But I always start off with Outland Ranger. If you have a choice, like I said, save these for later. We may be able to get them into a better position. We can also just campfire this to get out of range of stuff like Flame Burst. It's going to be Smoke. Now, I actually feel, depending on what type of aggro deck it is, I could have a very good matchup. I'll take the Mountain. So we're just gearing up for Ground Shaker. Now, I've beaten Red Rush with this deck already, and that was an Angry variant, and I think the Angry variant definitely plays more into this deck's favor. I think a Combat variant would be a little more difficult. I even think a Green deck would even be a bit more difficult, simply because the creatures are just bulky. So let's go for the Ground Shaker, I feel. Yeah, Ground Shaker's pretty solid. Now, our opponent could go double power up, which will push this up to 7. So there's no reason to campfire, from what I can tell. If I could double campfire in this situation, I probably would go for double campfire. Now, opponent might just double neutral across and clear this to get some value, which is fine. Like, I don't mind that so much. I'll just desert here and just finish it off. What am I double neutral down here? Maybe jump to the center. Maybe forest here. Jump to the center into Virgin Force. Does go for collection. Okay. It's gonna preemptively power up. So we're absolutely fine for finishing this off thanks to that campfire in hand. So our opponent, unfortunately, didn't play around campfire there. No, I feel that I just go for another ground shaker instead. And because my opponent was unaware of that campfire in hand anyway, I should take advantage of that situation because my opponent may continue to forget it exists. So ground shaker just feels a little better. Because it just looks like I drew the answer. It doesn't look like I had an answer in hand. So I'm playing some, not so much mind games, but I'm just using the information I had to my advantage. This is actually going to move up. That's fine. Like, I'm absolutely fine with that. Okay. So now we can replace this Outland Ranger. I could steal this, but I don't see a reason to. So we'll take a desert. We can actually go in between the wells at this point. Do I go in between the wells? I mean, sure. Why not? Yeah, let's do it. I don't see a reason why I wouldn't go in between the wells. So I already feel like we've won this game. I have this on the... So the forest side of my opponent's aggro lands, I have 2 ground shakers. On this side, I have an Outland Ranger. Not the best, but it's very easy for me to shift to this side if I need to. So Zagami Warrior is just going to dash across. That's fine. I can take some damage. My life is a resource right now. And now I do this. So I could double neutral. And then I wait. I could even sit here if I want to. Because next turn, I very much plan to drop an Axe Grinder in this position. Free damage does not mean anything to me at this. Like I said, I don't really care about free damage. Virgin Force I care a bit more about, but that's fine. I have an answer to that. Be it the eel or the Recurring Copter. Might go for Copter because it sets up a double collector. So I can, yeah, clear this. Let's leave this here. Go for the collection. And then we'll go for the Thunder Eel in a more aggressive spot, setting up that Axe Grinder land. And I will move this back, just in case my opponent summons anything here. But at free Faeria, the most we're going to see is Sagami Warrior. I can't see much else coming down. God Hunter. Sure, I'll take a God Hunter with the Spirit Theft. Yep, push. Yep, just going to scoop. I push for 6, play an Axe Grinder, hit this, Spirit Theft it, play it here. Pretty good situation to be in. A very quick game there. Just able to defend. I think the problem my opponent had was not playing around a campfire that I drew. I could have used the campfire to clear it, even if I didn't have the ground shaker, but I decided to keep it for later, which did benefit me in clearing out the Willow and then saving that Spirit Theft if I had needed it. But good game. Let's move on to our next. Alright guys, final match here. Gonna wrap things up. With this game, I could get it. I could get the 5-0. Choking Sands hasn't been that useful It's definitely a card I'd consider cutting at this point. But I do like having that flexibility of having it available. It kills Fagoro, although Fagoro generates too much value anyway, so it's not even a good kill on Fagoro. Could kill a Taunter. It's going to be another rush deck. There are things that it takes care of at least, but I haven't seen much use for it yet. It was more put in to deal with Brutes and Grimguards. Because I'd seen so much burn earlier on in the day, and I thought, you know what, if I can put Cheeky Choking Sands in it, if I can kill a Brute with it, that's good value. You know, that's a good rate for me, because I am in, like, Faeria favor, you could say. Well, yeah, we're just going to see the Sax Grinder. Bam. I guess we go for Ground Shaker, yeah. Ground Shaker. I wish I could Desert and Ground Shaker, I guess. No, I don't wish that. I'm glad Ground Shaker's 3 mountains, but it'd be beautiful if I could go for the Ground Shaker and then I could collect because it goes face for some reason, and I could go like Thunder Eel and just finish it off and just have a really good board. Yeah, let's just clear it out and get a Ground Shaker down. So my opponent can land in this position, maybe play something here. Ground Shaker's in range of hitting anything in this position at least, so I could force my opponent. Opponent might double neutral into like Master Swordsman, and then I could at least like Desert here and force a land to be built. So really just locking me in. So I'm on a right side defense here. Oh, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. I really hope I pick up something useful. It did not happen. Okay. So 2 aggro decks to finish off the episode. Cypher's Wrath is just beautiful in this position. Oh, am I 1 Faeria off next turn? 2. So I'm 1 Faeria off going for Soul Pack double Eel on this if this gets removed. That's really sad. But if I pick up Soul Drain, I can go Soul Drain Eel, which is pretty good. It's going to double neutral to block me. Into Horsemaster. That's pretty good. That's a really good... That's awesome. So now I can just Eel this and get good value. And I drew Flame Burst anyway. Okay. So yeah, we'll go for an Eel. Well, Eel... Where do we want to Eel? That's the question. I guess I always want to Eel the more defense, but I can actually stick this in between the wells now. Finish this off, just give that a good old zap. Kill the Yak. And then pass, because next turn I double collect. I go up to 8, +1, I can Eel Flame Burst the next threat that comes down, but I also have Eel Soul Pact. So this could be Axe Grinder. Yeah, it's going to be an Axe Grinder. But now we're collecting. Which is pretty good. I probably just Eel... Yeah, I probably just go for the Eel Soul Pact Flame Burst here. Because it stops my opponent from getting up to too much. I put something in a decent defensive position. I mount in here next turn, stick the Axe Grinder down, and then I'm representing threats to my opponent's orb, so my opponent, as long as I can keep reacting to this side of the board and have an Axe Grinder just chipping away, I should win. But I'm a little afraid of Firebringer right now. Firebringer is a pretty scary card. I'm just hoping my opponent doesn't have much going on. +1 into Yak, probably? Ah, the Firebringer. Yeah, Firebringer's pretty miserable. But that's a good draw. Actually a really good draw. I can I take 7? That's the question. Can I take 7 at this point? If the answer is yes, I play Axe Grinder. If the answer is no, I just stick a Rakoan Copter here. I feel like I just have to stick a Rakoan Copter in front of my orb. The Fire Elemental really messed me up. Like, defensively, being able to push lands like this. I'm okay, I'm still double collecting. Flame Burst is really sad. Bomb Slinger is pretty sad too. But it's not too bad. Because if I draw Spirit Theft now, I'm so set with this mountain here. I'm just going to kill anything that comes down. So yeah, Spirit Theft. Come on, give me the Spirit Theft. I didn't draw like a god. That's really sad. Yeah, I guess so. Can I take 4 damage to the face? Maybe I can. Maybe I just take 4 this turn. I don't know, actually. I think I have to Flame Burst this. Mainly because of the position of this. This Axe Grinder's in a very good position to kill whatever comes down here, as long as I draw that extra piece of removal. So the Flame Burst on the Bomb Slinger there is more to protect this, to make sure that this can defend from this spot. That's why I went for it. I was considering double Axe Grinder, but I think my opponent just has the luxury of clearing this Axe Grinder, and then playing something here, which this Axe Grinder wouldn't be able to reach. Choking Sands is relevant. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? Alright. We're going to go for that mountain. Played a lot of mountains this game. I do realise. This eel in double collection has paid off. Like, it was a big payoff going for that. The Soul Pact allowed me to do it, to be honest. Without the Soul Pact, I wouldn't have had this. The fact my opponent didn't Bomb Slinger this because it was too slow has given me so much Faeria. It's killed a guy and it's given me a mountain of Faeria to work with. Now my opponent's back in the old Red Rush +1 to something, but with Axe Grinder in this position, it's actually very difficult because this can probably clear most things that come down, apart from the Firebringer. That's the only thing I'm not going to be able to deal with. So it's going to Campfire this, which is fine. Because this is going to lose its attack. It's going to go down to a 3. Yeah, that's fine. We are going to Desert. We're going to play an Outland Ranger here. We're going to Campfire our Axe Grinder. Finish this off. Leave this on 1. Just make life very difficult. And now we get our aggressive Axe Grinder. The reason I went for Desert is if I pick up that last Nightmare now, I'll be in a position where I can just kill the Firebringer. So now I have the luxury of just drawing cards. I can just draw a card and +1. I have all my lands. I know I've built a lot of mountains, but I've had to build them just because of that Fire Elemental. And to be honest, it's not that bad. Like, I'm in such a good position. I got 4 creatures on board, right? 2 of them are defended in this region here. And then I have my double... I'm tri-collecting next turn again. It's kind of miserable. +1 in the Firebringer. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, and I just drew it anyway. Because for some reason I draw like an absolute god sometimes. Feels bad. I should have actually played the Ground Shaker here, but I'm in such a good position now because I basically just Nightmare the next thing that comes down. I hit for 10, setting up lethal. I draw Flame Burst, I get lethal. I'm pretty fine with going for aggro Axe Grinder just because I have the Nightmare. The Nightmare's just so good here. Oh, Soul Drain does enough now as well, so I can Soul Drain this. I've used all my eels, unfortunately. Gonna see a Tempo Hate Seed. Yep. That's absolutely fine too. Soul Pact. Yep, we can take a draw. Colossus. So yeah, we just go 5, 5, Colossus, and win the game. GG's. I'm not losing 13 life this turn with my opponent's on free Faeria. It's just not going to happen. Now my opponent can kill this. He could Mountain and then play Grimguard, I guess. Maybe? No, not really. I guess like the only real thing that stops me is like a Devouring Plant, but then I just move and hit it. So nothing really stops me here. Nothing stops me. Unstoppable red-yellow events. Gonna win another match against Red Rush. I feel that this is just such a good matchup now that Angry Red is the go-to Red Rush deck. Combat Red, I think it'd be a little different. But against Angry Red, this is just a really good matchup for us. And that's one thing I've learned from playing a couple of games now against it. Just because the removal lines up so well. So well. And look at that, an extra star to boot. So 5-0. I did it, guys. I didn't curse myself. I usually do. But very happy with how this deck's performed. I feel that only Choking Sands is the only card I'd really consider changing. But then it was alright there. It let me collect. It let me move on to that spot. So it did actually do its job. But yeah, good games to all my opponents today. Really like this deck. That wraps up this episode of Will It Work, featuring my red-yellow events deck. I took some of my old red-yellow events decks from the past. I actually had a look back at some of my old episodes featuring the deck. Back when I was doing like Deck Doctor and Deck Pilot, and I was like, how can I make this a thing now? And I feel that actually this deck's really good. I think it's solid. Maybe not tier 1, but it's definitely competitive. I feel it can definitely fight and ladder just because it has that kind of toolbox flexibility that Control offers, but also it can become a mid-range deck if it needs to, just because it has so much removal, and it has good threats, like Ground Shaker's a solid threat, Axe Grinder, Eel after its ability is also really good as a 6/4, you know, it does represent a lot of damage, and it does represent trades or even clears. Spirit Theft just gives the deck even more reach because you just steal your opponent's creatures, giving us a good matchup against blue, because we already have a lot of removal anyway, and then we can steal Auroras and Phantasms and stuff like that. And then we just have like 2 pieces of hard removal for very specific matchups. So actually, I don't think I'd change anything. I feel this deck is pretty good how it is. But if you guys have any suggestions, by all means, leave a comment below. Maybe you guys will play it a little bit and figure out some other cards that could fit into it. But overall, I'm just super happy with this deck. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date of when our content goes live. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episodes from this week. We had a Yak deck, we have Menadil's Yak deck, which is really cool. S of Beasts as well. Seen Gemshell Tortoise come back, Ice Rock Behemoth becoming more playable. The expansion's really starting to brew much more creativity. Like I said, I think this is my favorite expansion so far, just from how it's helped shape the meta. Not all the cards so far in the red-yellow package have been featured, but somehow like some of the balance changes as well as a couple of those cards are starting to craft these new archetypes. I'm really excited to see what blue-green are going to get. We're going to see more Yaks, which is also cool, so hopefully we'll see some more Recohen stuff as well. So until next time, guys, take care, and I hope you enjoyed my red-yellow events.